Every on a Sunday night, our little gathering. Woo! Oh, I just thought I'd join him, but she wasn't. So Bianca Townsend, our district manager in qualification, almost qualified district manager, she will be by the end of the week, is going to train for us tonight on SUncare. And then we've got district manager in qualification, Tracey Bridges, all the way up in Aberdeen, who's going to train for us on some business knowledge. So without further ado, I'll hand it over to Bianca Townsend. Woo!
Thanks very much, Danny. Right, yeah, I was asked to talk about the sun protection range, and I was really happy to get that because, well, it's getting closer to summer and we need to be thinking about things like that. And I hadn't really looked at the SUncare range at all, so it gave me an excuse to. When I did look into it, though, I found that there wasn't really much variation between the products in terms of what the ingredients were, so I was a bit worried that I wouldn't have that much to talk about. So what I thought I'd do is I'll just briefly go over the 4 main products in the Liquid Sunshine range, and then talk a little bit about the importance of sun protection. Because, well, if anything like my husband, who thinks his skin is completely immune to the harmful effects of the sun rays. And I think also we all know it's important, but we're probably not all that good at protecting our skin from the sun. So perhaps a bit of a knowledge recap would help. And I think as health and wellness consultants, it helps us to advise our clients as well when it comes to sun safety and as to why our products at Arbonne are so effective at protecting the skin. So I went on to the source and went on to the key selling points bit. And the 4 main products that we've got in the range are the sunscreen for body, sunscreen for the face, the sunscreen for lips and lip balm, and then there's the Liquid Sunshine self tanning as well, which obviously doesn't offer any protection. The Liquid Sunshine range was developed to, well, it says here, let you enjoy the positive aspects of sun exposure, featuring several products with a physical mineral sunscreen rather than a chemical one. And it delivers a collection of sun protection products that align with our core philosophy of pure, safe and beneficial. Chemical sunscreens work by absorbing the sun's rays, while physical sunscreens offer protection by deflecting UVA and UVB rays. And I'll go into a bit more detail about that in just a moment. The collection contains 4 key ingredients utilised to deliver soothing benefits, and they are aloe vera leaf juice, which soothe and moisturise. We've got green tea leaf extract, which is soothing and also contains antioxidant properties as well. There's Edelweiss extract, I can't pronounce that, I do apologise, which contains antioxidant properties, and we've got grapeseed extract as well, which moisturise and also contains antioxidant properties. So we'll just talk a little bit about the importance of sun protection. I hope I don't waffle on too much, and I hope it's informative. So basically, the sunlight that reaches us is made up of 2 types of harmful rays or radiation. We've got long wave ultraviolet A, which we know is UVA, and we've got short wave ultraviolet B, which we know as UVB. Now, UVB is the chief culprit behind sunburn, while UVA rays, which penetrate the skin much deeper, right down to the dermis layer, they're associated with the wrinkling, the leathering, the sagging, and other light-induced effects of ageing. They also exacerbate the carcinogenic effects of the UVB rays and are increasingly being seen as the cause of cancer in their own right as well. So both equally as harmful. I pinched something off the internet, which just shows that in a picture form. Can you see that okay? It's just like a picture diagram just to explain that we've got this skin surface here, we've got the epidermis and then the dermis. Can you see that okay? And then UVB just kind of penetrates down to the skin layer, but the UVA comes right down into the dermis layer, and its harmful effects can be seen in those layers there.
Yeah, we can see that.
I don't know where I pinched it from, but hopefully they won't mind. Sunscreens are products that combine several ingredients that help prevent the sun's ultraviolet radiation from reaching the skin. And SPF stands for sun protection factor. You probably all know that. It refers mainly to the amount of UVB protection that sunscreens offer. Someone's gone. The SPF rating is calculated by comparing the amount of time needed to burn sunscreen protected skin versus unprotected skin. So, for example, if you're redden after 15 minutes with nothing on your skin at all, then a cream with SPF 15 should allow you to stay out for about 3 3/4 hours before you burn. But of course, it's not as straightforward as that. So higher SPF values offer some safety margins, seeing as most people generally don't apply enough sunscreen. We probably only achieve roughly 1/3 of the protection that we should be getting from the sunscreen itself. So if applied correctly, obviously SPF 0 offers us no protection at all. If we apply sunscreen SPF 10, then that should offer us 90% protection. If we use SPF 15, we should get 93% protection. If we use SPF 30, that should offer us 97% protection, and that's what Arbonne products are. The lip product is 15, and the face and body product are SPF 30. And the SPF 50 should offer us 98% protection, but nothing will give us 100% protection. And as you can see, there's not an awful lot of difference between SPF 30 and SPF 50. There's just like 1% difference in it. What I found out is that any advantage of using an SPF greater than 50 is minimal in terms of UVB protection. And UVA protection is also important, but SPFs mainly just measure the UVB protection as well. So using a high SPF may protect your skin from sunburn, but without the UVA screening ingredients, you'll still receive large amounts of skin damaging radiation. Also, products with very high SPFs may encourage people to neglect other photoprotective behaviours, like seeking the shade, staying out of the midday sun, wearing sun protective clothing. And they can also give a false sense of security by prompting people to stay out longer in the sun, failing to reapply sunscreen, and not forgetting that sun damage, i.e. UVA damage, can occur without reddening of the skin. So you don't have to burn in order to damage the skin. Recommended SPF should be no lower than 30 and no higher than 50. And ideally, the best sunscreens should be broad spectrum. So that means they offer both UVB and UVA protection, and Arbonne products do. The types of sunscreens available are differentiated by their active sun protection ingredients. So you've got your classic sunscreens, which use chemical active ingredients, and what they do is they're designed to absorb and mop up UVA and UVB rays. But the mineral sunscreens use mineral active ingredients to reflect UVA and UVBs away from the skin. And I don't know about you, but I prefer that idea that the rays are being reflected away from me instead of being absorbed into the skin. Zinc oxide and titanium dioxide are the most common and recommended minerals for sunscreen protection, and these are the ingredients that Arbonne use. They are naturally occurring minerals, and zinc oxide is that the white chalky stuff, you know, when you see the lifeguards on the Australian beaches with the white lips and the white nose. It's the zinc oxide that gives that white appearance. These minerals are very small particles and are measured in nanometers. And from a safety point of view, nanoparticles are potentially toxic because they're so tiny that they can enter the body and damage human tissue cells. But non-nanoparticles are bigger and considered much safer, and Arbonne use non-nano zinc oxide and titanium dioxide to comply with those safety regulations. Although it has to be said, it is difficult to regulate safety of sun protection creams, but we do comply with all of those recommendations thus far. So, the products that we have, we've got the Mineral Sunscreen Broad Spectrum, so that's UVA UVB protection in SPF for the body. And it says here the key features, instead of chemical active ingredients, it uses minerals, which we've discussed. It's formulated with zinc oxide, along with botanicals, antioxidants, minerals, and moisturisers in a non-oily, lightweight formula that is suitable for the whole family. So it creates a physical barrier on the skin and protects against the UVA and UVB by deflecting those rays away from the body. It's non-greasing, glides on easily, provides that protective layer. Formulated with the viscosity of a body lotion, so it's easy to apply. I don't know if you remember the days of that really thick white sun lotion that you used to try and rub in and it just wouldn't go anywhere, and if you got hairs on your body it just sticks to everything. Yuck. So it's not like that, it's better than that. It's water resistant, so anything up to 80 minutes it will protect you for, but you would need to reapply it once you get out of the water. And of course it's allergy, dermatologist tested, certified gluten and gluten-free and vegan as standard with Arbonne. The benefits are the aloe vera green tea to hydrate and soothe, and it's got the non-nano zinc oxide to help prevent the sunburn. When it comes to using the product, and this is quite important because this is where we generally all go wrong, it should be applied 15 minutes before sun exposure, and reapply after 80 minutes of swimming or sweating, or immediately after towel drying, or at least every 2 hours. It says do not wait until you are in the sun to apply, as skin will be unprotected and can burn. Shake well before use and apply the proper amount. An average adult's sized amount would be 6 teaspoons, which is about 30 mils of sunscreen to fully cover the exposed areas of the body. We do generally use too little. Yes, and it says don't over rub either, as you'll spread the mineral sunscreen too thinly, which will leave areas less protected. Another good tip is make sure it's in date. I'm not pointing to anyone directly here. But yeah, most sunscreens, I think it's once open, you've got 12 months to use it. If you use it after that period, you're not really going to get the benefits of the sun protection. So something to bear in mind there. Moving on to the face, there's not an awful lot of difference in terms of ingredients. The face sunscreen, again, is broad spectrum, so it protects against UVA, UVB, SPF 30, and of course it's mineral sunscreen, and this time it has titanium dioxide with the zinc oxide, and I think that's probably to avoid the whiteness. We don't want the white appearance on the face. Again, it's full of botanicals, antioxidants, minerals and moisturisers. It's non-oily and it's lightweight. It's non-greasy, glides on easily to provide a physical layer of protection on the skin surface. It's non-shiny, which is obviously good, particularly for women. If you want to wear makeup as well, it's not all going to slide off because of the oily sunscreen underneath. Again, water resistant and allergy tested, dermatologically tested, certified gluten-free and vegan as standard. The face sunscreen has vitamin E in it, which is obviously moisturising and soothing as well, and that ingredient is slightly different to the body formula. When it comes to application, you want to be using 1 to 2 teaspoons for your face to get an all-over application to offer you a safe protection level. And then moving on to the lip balm, mineral sunscreen broad spectrum 15. I think it's slightly lower because we're more inclined to reapply our lip balm than we are our body creams and face creams. And also to avoid the white that you get, the higher the SPF, the more zinc oxide and the more white kind of appearance you're going to get on the skin. So it uses soothing botanicals to hydrate and restore moisture to dry lips, and it offers the UVA and UVB protection. It's got coconut flavouring, natural source obviously. It's colourless, and it's got a matte finish, and it's suitable for all skin types. Contains aloe vera and vitamin E to soothe the skin, and it's got moisturising botanicals and essential oils to soothe and nurture the delicate skin on the lips. And this product contains non-nano zinc oxide to help with sunburn. And yeah, you just keep reapplying that liberally throughout the day. And as I say, I think most people are more inclined, just broke my pen, I think most people are more inclined to reapply lip balm than they are products on the body. And then the last product, which really isn't sun protection, but it's part of the range, is the Tinted Self Tanner. Obviously, it's a healthier way to obtain a tan without exposing yourself to the sun. It's a lightweight, non-oily, quick-drying formula, and it provides a natural-looking tan, which is visible within 2 hours. And I believe you can build the colour up with more applications. It's not a product I've used, so I don't know if anybody else can chip in there. Lightly scented, creamy lotion rubs right in with no sticky residue, streaking or colour transfer. Its hydrating, refreshing formula is recommended for ages of 18 plus. If you've got any clients younger than the age of 18, it's not recommended for those. And it's obviously gluten-free, vegan, allergy tested, and all of that. And the ingredient that they use in the self tanner is something called DHA. I'm going to try and pronounce it. Dihydroxyacetone. And basically that's a sugar that interacts with amino acids on the top layer of the skin to produce a pigment called melanoidins. Anyway, it gives us the tanned look, and it only affects the top layer of the skin, which is why the tan only lasts for a couple of days, because the dead skin cells slough off the body and then you have to start the whole process again. And that's essentially all that I could find on the sun protection range, but it's really good. It's mineral sunscreens are what are advocated. They use good ingredients, obviously with pure, safe and beneficial. And hopefully we can recommend people use these products over the coming months.
That was brilliant, Bianca. And me and Ian just wanted to share our experience of it, and then I know Tracey wanted to say something. So we had our own experience in Las Vegas with the SUncare. Basically, we took our sun lotion to Las Vegas and we applied it exactly like you just said, and we both got severely burnt, didn't we?
Don't use it if it's out of date, because you burn like fuck.
It didn't work. If it's over 12 months old, it doesn't work. It's food graded. It's not okay.
So if you haven't got any sun cream, get a big stupid hat and you're in the shade all day.
Can I just say as well, you know, we've had the offer on with the lip balms. You buy one and you get 10,000 free, something like that anyway. Did you know that they all expire in July?
I did not. I was not aware of that, no.
No,
Not surprised though.
12 of the buggers, and they all expire in July, and I've been giving out, and it's actually a client that pointed it out to me. It would be fine as a lip balm, but it's not going to offer sun protection after July.
So if your lips start burning in the summer, you know why.
I was gutted when I found out. I've got 12 and now I can't use them.
You just get a hat. That's all you need.
I'll walk around like that.
You need Danny's hat, Ian. It's bigger.
Okay. And everyone can fit under it as well. It's like a big fat tent.
It's great. Oh, thank you for that, Bianca. That was great. Tracy, you wanted to add something about the SUncare, didn't you?
Yeah, sorry to unmute myself. Yeah, one of my PCs, she was actually in Vegas when you guys were, but on a family holiday. and she wouldn't mind. I've already asked her. She wouldn't mind me sharing this information with you. She took a stepdaughter, and the stepdaughter's mother said she is not having that arbon on her skin. Can she use this, that really thick Nivea kid stuff? And her stepdaughter was the only one that was crisped, literally crisped. And especially these bits here, obviously they're probably not been putting up on her face. So they got all the after sun and everything on her. And the only thing that took the sunburn pretty much away was the only thing they had that they could use on the skin without her stepdaughter. Stepdaughter's a pre-teenager, she's 11. You can imagine she tells everything to her mum. And they had the Arbonne lipstick, the sunscreen lip balm. They smeared that on her cheeks, and literally within 12 hours, all the redness had it was still burnt, obviously, but the redness had gone down, and it didn't reburn.
It didn't surprise me.
Luckily, she took out 5 of the lip balms. So she just
Do you know why they were anti the Arbonne range? Was there any particular reason why they didn't want the Arbonne products used?
Oh, it's just a stepdaughter's mother is
Just been awkward.
She's just been, awkward.
Anti-Arbonne for the sake of it.
Yes, yeah. I've never met the woman, but my PC is she's considering the business, but there's a lot going on with her side, so it's just not the right time for it just now. So she's very hot on all the products. So yeah, but she said I could share it with you. So if anyone does have existing sunburn, use the lip balm directly on the sunburn, and it takes it right down. And it smells lovely.
Brilliant.
It might be the coconut oil and the aloe vera in it that's helped to soothe the skin, I'd have thought.
Yeah,
coconut
I think
oil
so.
cures everything.
Because Kerry, she got a little bit on her, just up here, she must have missed that bit, and she had her hair back one day and got a little 50p sunburn bit there, so she put the lip stuff on it and it took it away. So yeah, that was I just needed to share that.
I wish I'd known that. I had plenty of balms, but I know after sun.
Just use that for after sun, because I was asked, do we have an after sun? We don't, do we?
We used to.
The gelée is brilliant as an after sun.
Right.
Really good. We had it in Turkey and it was 45 degrees there. And going back to the sun cream, Katie always used to get rash, like the prickly heat rash. And she used the ABC sun cream, and she never got a rash once while we're there, even in that intense heat. And then the after sun, we used to put it in the fridge, come back at the end of the day and just put that on. It was lovely.
Oh, I've got one more question that I was asked today, which I was actually going to ask on the page, is the facial sunscreen. How do you go about makeup? And I was like, I said to her, to be honest, I don't know, because I would personally put the sunscreen on and then put the makeup on top, but then would your makeup slide off your face?
No, well, from what I read, it's because it's a non-greasy formula. It says it's perfect to wear as a base underneath makeup. So I really don't think that would be a problem. I would follow your normal face routine, let that sink in, apply the sun cream, let that sink in for a bit, and then apply your makeup afterwards. And the makeup's got some SPF protection in it as well.
And the RE9 moisturiser does for the day.
Yeah, she's using the RE9 at the minute, but it was...
but not forgetting that the SPF will only protect against the UVB rays. So to protect against the UVA, which is the anti-age, like the causes premature aging, doesn't it? And sagging and drying and all of that. To get the UVA protection, the actual sun cream would be recommended over this. Well, I mean, it says use year round, but I mean, I don't. I only use in the summer months, really. But yeah, it should be fine to wear under makeup.
Okay, that's fine. Thank you. I just wondered, and I was like, oh, I don't know. I've never really experienced it. So thank you.
Yeah, it says so in the key selling points to what you can wear under makeup.
Thank you.
My dad gets cold sores every single time he goes on holiday, and he has done for years. And my mom gets really bad prickly heat, and they use the SUncare range, so for the face, body, and the lip salve. And it's the first time that they've been on holiday that my dad hasn't had a cold sore and my mom hasn't had prickly heat, and that's just from swapping to our range. So my dad's addicted to the lip salves now, so when we found out that they'll buy one get two free, ordered 3 and got like 9 ready, stocking up for the year.
What are the dates on yours? Do yours expire in July?
I don't know. I've got mine here actually.
Is that why they've been giving loads out for free? Because they're all expiring.
Yeah. Mine's July.
Bummer.
Yeah,
Mine is July.
This is where we all run for them.
I might just give them out as lip balms and tell people not to use it as a sunscreen.
My mum uses it as a lip balm.
Yeah,
It's
it's fine as a lip balm.
Yeah.
Quite a lot in it, don't you?
So I've been give anyone who I know suffers with cold sores, I'm like, right, use this and it might help. Not saying it will help, but it might help because it's helped a couple of people that I know. It's stopped them in the tracks. So yeah.
The other thing with cold sores, my Matt, he gets a cold sore in the same place and he felt it coming up, and we read a thing about the skin conditioning oil. If you feel it coming up, put the skin conditioning oil on and it doesn't come to anything. You can still sort of the prickle there, but it just doesn't come to anything at all.
Oh.
So just in case he does feel one coming on, that's another one to use.
Nappy cream help with that.
Thank you. I'll let him know. He's got a skin conditioner all at the moment actually because his hands keep splitting. He does like quite physical work. And his hands just keep splitting. He's got like quite deep splits on his fingers and his hands. And he was using the hand cream and the hand cream's not touching it. So then he God, this is my dad. My dad's terrible. He read somewhere that using leather cleaner can help splits on your hands. So he got a load of leather cleaner and he's been rubbing it into his hands, which is obviously just insanely stupid. And then the only other thing he found in the house, which he said is working, is lanolin, you know, the breastfeeding, lantanol, you know, the breastfeeding stuff. And I'm like, oh, and he's like, well, it heals cracks on your nipples when you were feeding Evelyn and Hermione. I was like, yeah, but that's before I knew better. Don't use that. So I was like, right, come here, and gave him rub skin conditioning oil into all the splits and then put rejuvenating cream on top of it.
Yeah.
And then about 10 minutes later, he was trying to change a light bulb and he got all annoyed because it kept slipping out of his hands. He was like, I can't do anything with this on. But my dad's proper old school, so it's hard to change him over. But he has said that he'll try using the skin conditioner oil, so he'll have it anyway. So I'll warn him about the cold sores. What did someone else just put in the chat? Oh, hydration mask. I've just got that actually. I've literally just got that from Zoe Allen's recommendation. So I'll give that to him as well. Thank you.
I can vouch the rejuvenating cream for cracks on your fingers. Works.
That's what I'm trying with at the minute.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because the hand cream doesn't touch my hands either, but the rejuvenating cream is perfect for it.
I mean, the hand cream's lovely for my hands, but I think if you've got such dry hands so severe that they're splitting, you need that extra oomph in a product, don't you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Either that or the nappy cream. Nappy cream's good.
All right, Tracey, do you want to do your training?
Yeah, it's not a long one, but it's something that I found very useful. And it's a 10-minute getting to know you call. And basically it's because I'm having to change my approach slightly to all the events to more kind of a one-to-one personal touch point. That I've been reading up, and I've read about this 10-minute getting to know call. So this is basically when you bring someone from the cold market effectively into a warm market, but you've kind of approached them about the business, but not directly. So it's when like you've been speaking to them about the goals or just getting to know them as friends. And then after a while, you say, look, when you feel it's, you know, in that relationship, it's fine. You can just send them a wee message. I've got it all. I've got notes on my phone, so I do apologise. I did have a lovely PowerPoint, but now Zoom won't link up with my Dropbox. So yeah, an example message. I've sent this out to a couple of people, and I've actually got calls next week with people saying, "Hi, are you around later today or tomorrow for a quick 5-minute call? It'd be great to have a real chat with you rather than just back and forth messaging. Let me know what time of day is best, and we can jump on a Zoom or a telephone or just a Skype." And both people said, "Oh yeah, that'd be great to actually, you know, chat to you in person." And the main aim of this call is that you lead the call. You ask the questions and you make it so you're in a position, not kind of authority, but where by the end of the call, their respect for you would be that little bit higher. So then when you discuss more about the business, they know you as a real person, not just someone at the end of Messenger, at the end of Facebook or whatever. And you can just kind of get that relationship going that bit better. So I guess it's a bit like when you meet up someone with a one-to-one in person at a coffee shop, it's just basically doing it over the phone. But like example questions that I've found useful, kind of just do my research online, is the kind of questions that you could ask is, have you had success online or in network marketing before? Now, as we know, UK network marketing is booming. So many people have paddled in network marketing, not really done anything with it. So you could be speaking to somebody, you might not know that you're a granny trying to teach your granny to suck eggs. But they might say, oh yeah, I've got 2 years network marketing experience. And then you can kind of lead on to say, oh, what methods have you used to generate leads, you know, people who are interested. Then you can really dig into, if they have got experience, what experience they have had. Because if you're going for a one-to-one or a get-to-know call, they might have a really negative feeling about network marketing. And you won't know that until you've asked, do you have experience in network marketing? You may presume that they may have not let on that that they have ever done anything in network marketing before. They may have been a customer, they may have been a client or whatever, or they may have actually been a consultant, a rep, call them what you will. So I've actually did this last week, and I realized that the lady I'd been speaking to has been in 5 different network marketing companies. None of them she's really been successful with. She's got to like the first level, but then dropped back because she didn't have the support and the leadership that she needed to get onto the next stage. So that kind of fell on its feet. And then, so I'm kind of more coaching her now than actually, she won't be a consultant or anything, that's fine, but we're now really good friends. So then another question to ask them is, why are you doing this? And what is your reason? Again, this, you make notes as you go along. So if they, oh, I don't really know, then with that person, you're going to have to start at square one. But if they say, oh, no, I want this, 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 and this, you think, great, you've got a starting point, where you're heading with them. And then if they say what they would like, they say, do you have a plan in place for achieving them goals? Because their plan might be totally off this planet. You might think it's unachievable, or you might think, oh, actually, that's a really good plan. I can work with that, with your existing plan. So you don't need to try and change that whole person's mindset of their plan and how they're going to reach the goals. It might be slightly different to you, how you would do it, but it might work for that person. And then another one is, do you have your own Facebook group? Because people that you've been speaking to, you may have met in other Facebook groups, whether it's vegan or botanical stuff, or even just your general interest like crochet, knitting, cookery, whatever. And they might even have experience of running groups and pages on Facebook. Again, you don't know their online experience unless you've asked. And then another one to ask is, what other business opportunities are you in? Because you don't know if they're with any other company. You don't know, if they've got their own business in accounting or cleaning or whatever. You've no idea. And then towards the end, you're like, oh, what have you struggled online with the most? Now, this could mean basic Facebook skills or Twitter skills or whatever skills, or it could mean if you've been in an existing company before, what have you found difficult online in approaching people? So again, you can make it very personal to them, but make sure you're directing the calls. And then towards the end, you could be like, right, once they've had a nice chat, you'd be like, all right, I've got to go. I've got another call. Even if you don't have another call, you have to let them know that because they will keep you on the phone for hours, because obviously you're asking all the questions, they're answering, but you need to be quite structured with yourself, take lead of the call. And after about 10 minutes, because you've told them it's only going to be 10 minutes, say, right, I've got another call coming up. We can chat further next week. And then it can lead on to more follow-ups and more communication with them. You might not speak to them again for another couple of weeks, in which case you might want to touch base again. But then because you're asking them the questions, they know that you're interested in them. It's not all about, you trying to get them onto your team or whatever. You're genuinely interested. And it might be by the end of the call, you think, actually, Arbonne isn't really suitable for you right now. But then they can be on the back burner, and you say, right, in 6 months' time, you can go in with a business again. But until you ask the questions, you have no idea, because you can't make assumptions about anybody until you know the truth. So yeah, it's all wrapped up quite quick. I did have a really nice PowerPoint, but I'll email it to Danny. And I've written the questions down in a PowerPoint, and I will get that to Danny. But it's only short, but I think it's almost like going back to basics and getting to know, because it's so easy to get lost in Facebook and get lost in all the business opportunity. You need to jump in, and then you think you've no idea where they are in their life. So it's just kind of making that call and speaking to a person instead of making your thumbs hurt from typing so much. So yeah, that's very quick, but it's just something that I felt was really important to share with you.
That was great, Tracey. That was really great. Thank you. I was still listening while I was in the kitchen making a sandwich. I could still hear. That was really great, and I think that'll be useful for everybody. And yeah, if you could send it to me, then I can send it out to everybody else, and the questions, that'll be useful.
Yeah, can you text message me your email address just so I make sure I've definitely got the right one?
Yeah, no problem. Okay, right, let me just stop the recording. Thank you, Bianca and Tracey, for some fabulous training.